roll the clip of me a month ago trying to build my TBR around my vlog, which I am going to call, I think, the anti-Goodreads Choice Awards vlog. Hello and welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and Books. Today I'm bringing you a video that is different to the video that I intended to upload today. My original plan was for December was to upload as many videos as possible, ideally one a day, but for some reason every time I intend to do Bookmas and try to do Bookmas, my life just starts crumbling around me. And unfortunately this year on the 1st of December my grandma passed away. So my reading and video plans have been thrown out the window. This was meant to be the time that I was uploading my Goodreads Choice Awards reading vlog. I did start the reading vlog in November when the nominees were announced, which I'll talk about the vlog in a second because I have a bit of a silly goofy idea for my Goodreads vlog this year, but I obviously put the entire thing on hold December 1st. But I would like to complete that reading vlog, so I figured that since I don't know how much longer it's going to take me to read the books that I intend to read, instead today what I can bring to you is my reaction to the winners, because I've yet to log on and look at the winners, as well as I will include at the end the clips from mid-November when I was trying to build my TBR for my silly Goodreads Choice Awards vlog. So let me start by logging on and having a look who won. I actually did not even log on to see what the top 10 were for each category, so the entire order of the nominees I will have no idea. If you didn't see, I did do a prediction video where I predicted all of who I thought would be the nominees, so I will leave that linked if you would like to see that. And obviously once my Goodreads vlog comes out I will leave that linked as well. I'm really excited about it. And I wish it was coming out today, but I hope this will still be okay for you. I would love to take you along while I build my TBR. But anyway, back to the winners. So the Wedding People won in the fiction category. I kind of did think the Sally Rooney, I mean, it only had just come out before the awards, but I just thought that the name Sally Rooney would probably get a lot of votes. I am excited to see this book. I have this on my shelf. It's a translated book, and it sounds like something that would be really up my alley. I've seen a lot of this book, Blue Sisters, so I'm not surprised to see that here. Leanne Moriarty is a popular author. I have yet to like anything else from her other than Big Little Lies, but the only book that I've read is Here at the End, Greta and Valden. I did really enjoy it and I would recommend it. It's written by a Māori author from New Zealand, so it's also got gay characters in it. So, but yeah, not many comments in this first category because I just haven't read them. So historical fiction, I mean, I did predict that the women would be on here. Wow, okay, it really took the category out. 200,000 votes, and then the next one was 60,000. So yeah, we definitely took out that one. Let me know which books you've actually read from this list. I think in my last video some people did recommend some, which is really lovely. Thank you. Is that a motorbike? But I have read another book by this author, so I would be interested in this one. I have a book by this author on my shelf, their previous work. Okay, mystery thriller. Oh wow, okay, The God of the Woods won. Wow. I did see that Kayla had this for her book club 1 month, but I didn't read it. But I do think I would enjoy it because I think, going by what people have said, it is like kind of literary fiction mixed with a bit of mystery, which is my thing. I do like enjoy that, so I would definitely read that one. Let me know if you have read it and if you think I would enjoy it. Wait, oh my god, wow, wait, hold on, that's just sinking in for a second. It beat out both two Frida McFaddens. I'd say maybe because she had two books, like the votes were split from the Frida fans, but I feel like her book took it out last year by heaps. I'll have to check that. And this book has a lot of readers, 500,000 ratings, and this one only has 194,000 ratings. That's really interesting that First Lie Wins has so many more readers and God of the Woods won. Well, that's great. That's interesting. I don't know. Other than that, I have read from Emiko Jean before, so I would be considering this book. It is an Asian author, so I love that. But the book I've read from I've read two books from her. I read a young adult and then an adult, both just like fiction contemporary books. I also would read Sally Hepworth, who is Australian. Other than that, I would be interested in like the cozier ones, so maybe the Richard Osman, and this one I think is a cozy. And I read the first book in this series. I don't know if I would read the second one, but let me know what you have read in this one, what you would recommend from this one. Let's check romance. This one I'm excited about. Okay, and funny story one, I did expect that. I did think that perhaps Just for the Summer could beat it out this year. I did enjoy Just for the Summer. Wow, Bride did really well. Okay. Oh, and Leather and Luck came quite high too, didn't it? Okay. Oh my gosh, the Casey McQuiston came quite high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it just missed the top 10. Okay, that's really interesting. It has 11,000 votes, which is half the amount of ratings it has. I don't know if like the name Casey McQuiston, people who read this author's previous work, maybe that's where the votes were coming in. As expected, all of the BIPOC authors did not make the top 10. I just wish people loved to read diversely as much as I do, but anyway, I guess not that many surprises here. But yeah, I did think perhaps Abby's book this year could win. All right, let's head to Romantasy. I will have no idea about anything, but yeah, obviously Sarah J Maas won. I mean, okay. Okay, and then fantasy. Oh, the TJ Klune one, not by much. 69,868,000. Interesting. I have read the first Emily Wilde book. I would consider continuing. I didn't love it, but sometimes the first time I read a fantasy, I just get a little confused. But I feel like if I reread it, I would probably enjoy it more. Maybe I would try reading this one. I feel like I saw a lot about this author's previous book. I did buy this one, but I had no idea it was fantasy. I saw Kayla picked it for her book club and I was going to read along for that. And then I didn't end up reading it, and I don't think that the people in the book club really liked it as much. Yeah, that's about it for this one that I would read. Probably just Emily Wilde's, and I mean, I own this one now. Sci-fi? Okay, I own this book, so I will read it. I feel like I've seen less good things about it recently. I also have Annibot to pick up from the library at the moment. I think it's ready now. And I've been recommended this multiple times, so I'm really excited. And I was meant to buddy read it, but my hold did not come in time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not up to date with like which sci-fi is good, and every single time I try and read a sci-fi, my brain does not comprehend any of it. So, all right, we're looking at horror, and Stephen King won. It's not fun when there's no surprises. It's just a bit boring when the same people win it every year, isn't it? From this one, I have not seen very good reviews about this. However, I've read a book from this author before and I liked it, but I don't think I'll read this one. The Eyes Are the Best Part, I have now been recommended by a friend, so I will be picking that one up. I do know it's an Asian author, and Crying in H Mart meets My Sister the Serial Killer, which I have loved both of those, so that's interesting. I have enjoyed a Rachel Harrison before, so I would consider this one. What else? I don't know what from this category I would read, but I don't know. Let me know. Let's go debut. Oh, okay. How to End a Love Story 1. Ministry of Time is second. I'm glad this book is further up in this category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay, it made the top 10. And I'm glad to see this one making the top 10 as well. I think it's an Indigenous romance book as well. I would read that one. I just feel like I haven't heard enough about these books to know if I would read them. I would have to go through and read each synopsis. But then also I own this one. So those are my main priorities for this one. This cover is like crazy to me. With the googly eyes, like that is... Right, audiobook, the new category. Let's see what came... Oh, okay. Oh, boring. Funny Story 1 and 2... Okay, no. They need to do something about like doubling up with the nominations, because Funny Story, the same book, 1 and 2 different things. Like that's boring. Okay, I don't know. I'm over this category already. I'm moving on. I have nothing to say about that. Young adult fantasy. Okay, I've read this one. This one, I follow this author on Instagram, so I would be persuaded to read that if it seemed like it was on my alley. I think that they are Australian and also neurodivergent. I'm pretty sure I have another book from them. I do. I have a young adult book by them. So I would be, convinced to read that one. Now this year, okay, I could have told you Heartstopper was going to win. This category, I feel like there's more that I would be interested in, which is so crazy to say. This book, like, 1, the cover is cute. 2, it's Sapphic. 3, it's Asian. I mean, say less. Although if it wasn't young adult, I would be all over it. But okay, interesting. Has anyone read anything from this list? What are we thinking? What would we recommend? What the hell? Is this young adult? Weird. Anyway, nonfiction. The Anxious Generation. I haven't read any of these, nor do I think I really want to. So I'll just continue on to memoir. Oh, okay. Of course, yeah. See, when there's celebrity memoirs in here, they do, like, I mean, I guess depending on who the celebrity is, but they do kind of have a better chance of winning. I do have this one still to read, and I will be reading that. I did start it. I just didn't finish it. And also this one, I think I was recommended this one in the comments, and I did have this one like on my anticipated list of book releases for this year. But yeah, I don't know. History and biography, I'm likely to have not recognized anything anyway. Okay, so that's all of the awards for this year's Goodreads winners. What sentence was that? That was not a sentence. So what I want to do now is take you back to mid-November when the nominees were just announced, and I was starting what I thought was going to be my Goodreads Choice Awards vlog, in which I thought personally I had a really fun and creative idea. And then I have some TBR searching for the vlog that I will insert as well, and then the vlog clips will come later. Hopefully in the next week I can get it done. But I'm trying to push myself because I am sensitive at the moment. So roll the clip of me a month ago trying to build my TBR around my vlog, which I'm going to call, I think, the Goodreads Choice Awards vlog. So here we go. So my idea for the Goodreads Choice Awards actually came last year. Last year I had planned to read the nominees in the romance category, and then the nominees were announced and I saw what was in the romance category and how straight and white it was, and so now this year I have come up with a different idea. I'm calling this the Goodreads Choice Awards vlog, and I'm going to read some romance books for it that are not even nominees. So essentially last year there was only one book on the list that was an LGBTQ plus book, and it was still a male-female romance. One character was bisexual, so every single romance, as far as I'm aware, last year was a male-female romance. And you know how much I love my sapphic romances. Because there was only, again, looking at this year's books, there was only one book that was queer at all. I'm doing the Goodreads Awards this year, where I am reading 10 romance books, not from the romance category, but books that just didn't make it into the awards because people don't want to read queer books. Because we all know that publishing, as well as a lot of people online, don't tend to push the queer romance books, which is sad because some of them are so great. So I have a little over 10 options. I will just see how I go during the week. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself and just end up reading nothing, or scrapping this project entirely, because I would love to talk about some queer books on my channel. So I want this video to make it to completion. So I'm going to go through all of the books now with you and go through the synopsis of them. I did actually have trouble finding the books, not only finding the books, but finding access to them. I'm not trying to buy a whole heap of books. I think I'm going to have to maybe buy a couple that I was planning on reading anyway. But yeah, I am basing my 10-ish books based on accessibility. So a couple are on Kindle Unlimited, so that's how they snuck in. Sorry, I got interrupted again. I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, let's just go through the books before I get interrupted again. So first on the list, which I do not own yet, but I do have plans to pick it up anyway, for one of the book clubs that I'm in. But we have Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. Like I said, Delilah Green Doesn't Care by this author is my favorite romance. So I will pick up anything that the author brings out. This is a Christmas romance. It's only just come out. And I want to say that next year, Ashley Herring Blake has a book that comes out early in the year. So if that one doesn't make the Goodreads list, I'm going to be so mad, because, you know, her books have been in the top 10 before. So anyway, so what do we have in this book? Two exes find themselves stuck at the same house for Christmas in this holiday romance. So 5 years ago, one of the characters was ditched at the altar by her ex-fiance. And then, okay, she's persuaded to spend Christmas with her family in Colorado. Yeah, I'm hoping for a cute little holiday sapphic romance. Next up, I actually already own this book. My lovely friend Sasha gifted it to me for my birthday. I have put this on a TBR before because I also got approved for an ARC, which I haven't reviewed and it's already out. To be fair though, I got approved for the ARC after it was already out. So this one's also an indie romance and the author is Australian, but this one is called Novel Problems, and I believe it's in the same universe as the author's last work, which was in my favorites of the year last year. but a sapphic summer romance featuring a best-selling fantasy author and a warm-hearted cafe bookstore owner. Perfect for your next beach read. It is summer in Australia, so this is the perfect time for me. So yes, we're following a fantasy author who writes under a pen name. She's suffering from writer's block after her long-term relationship collapses. The deadline for her new novel is approaching, and she flees to Manhattan for Sapphire Springs, which is the town that the other book was set in. I don't think you need to have read one to read the other. Usually that's how these romance books work. But she's forced to visit a local cafe bookstore. She accidentally finds herself with a new job with one very attractive new boss. Distractions she definitely doesn't need with her looming deadline. And then obviously the other character we're following is the boss of the cafe bookstore. Oh, here you go. This book can be read as a standalone without having read Not Just Gal Pals. I loved Not Just Gal Pals though, so I would recommend that one. I will tell you once I finish this one if I recommend this as well. But so far these are the ones that I'm most likely going to get read because again, I already own them. Next up, we have another one I already own. This one is by Alison Cochrane, who I have read a book from before. This is also an author that has made the Goodreads Choice list before with a male romance, but the sapphic one did not make the list this year. So here we go again. By the way, did I say, obviously I'm reading all 2024 books. That's the whole point of the Goodreads Choice Awards. It's books within that year. So the author of Kiss Her Once for Me, which I did read last year, it's a Christmas sapphic romance. A new queer rom-com following once childhood best friends forced together to drive their former teacher across the country. I will say that if I decide not to read any books, it's going to be, usually these type of romances are sweet and cute, but we do have sometimes tougher topics discussed. And I do think this one is, they are taking their English teacher across the country. I do think I thought I saw in reviews that he was sick or dying, and this was like his dying wish. That is maybe the one thing that I don't want to read. I have enough in my life to do with that. I'm not sure. But yes, sapphic romance, an author I've read from before. I do already own it. I bought it for my birthday and it's just sitting there waiting to be read. And the next book I was also greatly anticipating coming out, and I just haven't read it yet. I think it's also on Kindle Unlimited, but this is called The 710 Split by Carmen Lee. Again, another sapphic romance. I am leaning towards these because I do really love them, but I will try and see if I can get like a range of queer books. I'm doing my best, guys. But this one's on Kindle Unlimited, so I should be able to access it. It's pretty short. It's under 300 pages. And going by the cover is maybe why you would think that I would love it. If you haven't seen, I do a TBR game that's to do with 10-pin bowling. So we're following a teacher, two teachers maybe. They are expected to be partners and lead their new bowling team to victory in 6 months. And with that, their rivalry is back. I guess so it's like a rivals to lovers sapphic romance. Also an author of color, which we love. And the next book I also have an arc of that I have forgotten to read and review, so I need to get to this one definitely. This one is called Here for the Wrong Reasons, and it's by two authors, Annabelle Paulson and Lydia Wang. And from what I've seen, the authors are actually a couple, so that's cute. So this one is a lesbian rom-com, two dating show contestants vying for the affection of the leading man fall head over heels for each other. It does say fans of Ashley Herring-Blake and Alexandra Bellafleur, which I have loved books by both those authors, and readers who love The Bachelor, which I do not. I'm not a reality TV show person. Well, not anymore. The steamy laugh out loud debut romance. So yeah, essentially both these women are on this Bachelor type show and they end up falling for each other instead of the man, which is a fun concept. The next one, I do not have a copy, but I need to get my hands on one. I have been looking forward to this one since before it came out. And this one actually has a character, I think, with the same name as me. I obviously can't do the pronunciation because I'm reading how it's written. It's not spelt the same as my name, but I'm going to assume it's pronounced the same as my name. So this is The Ride of Her Life by Jennifer Dugan, or Dugan. So this is an enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, queer rom-com for fans of Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I feel like in all the synopsises they say for fans of Ashley Herring-Blake or for fans of Delilah Green Doesn't Care, because that's like the most popular one. I mean, it was in the Goodreads Choice Awards, which is a popularity contest. Okay, a wedding-obsessed city girl who inherits a horse farm from her estranged late aunt and clashes with the cocky, unfairly hot farrier who thinks she's going to run the barn into the ground. So we're following Molly, who's always loved weddings. So she is the one who inherits this farm. She's ill-equipped to run the farm. She doesn't know how to save it, But her aunt left Molly a blessing in disguise. If she can sell the land, the profits could be the small business seed money miracle she's been waiting for. Okay, so it says the snag in her plan is the woman who took care of Molly's aunt in her last days and lives and works on the property. I don't know what a farrier is, but what I do know is, I don't know if this is pronounced Shani, but I feel like it possibly is, and I've never read a book where the character has my name in it. Is it just not that common of a name? So I really want to try and get to this book because it's sapphic, and I feel like cowboy romances are like becoming a trend. So being on a farm as well as being sapphic and having my name, I have to get to it. And I know I've had a lot of sapphic romances on this list so far, so let's switch over. I've got a male romance. So this one is The Boyfriend Subscription by Stephen Salvador, which I think is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm hoping. I'm sorry, I'm just picking books on how I can best access them so I don't have to buy all of them, because I'm not trying to buy 10 books. The Boyfriend Subscription is the LGBTQIA+ pretty woman rom-com fans have been waiting for. I'm very excited about that premise. I'm hoping I can get to this one. So after losing his marriage and his beloved retail plant business, Teddy is ready to drown his sorrows. If he could afford another beer in his favorite dive bar, he has no choice but to uproot his dreams and leave New York. And then a gorgeous stranger walks in with cheekbones that could cut glass and confidence that leaves Teddy panting. So the other character is Cole, a successful entrepreneur whose app allows consumers and sex workers to form real, if temporary, connections. Okay, so a fake boyfriend can help Cole project a more traditional image for a potential investor. Okay, so it's fake dating. So I love the premise of this, and I love fake dating books. That's one of my favorite tropes. I do not read very many male romances. Honestly, I just never hear of them. But I think I saw Kayla talk about this book in, I think she did it in one of her like book cover prediction videos. So that's where I originally heard of it. But I think if I can access the copy, this is going to be one of the books that I would like to try in this video. Next up, going back to sapphic again. I'm so sorry. This one is Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. So a sapphic opposites attract romance. The cover is super cute. You know, I love pink, clearly. Winning the lottery has ruined Opal's life. Okay, so she wins the lottery. She ends up buying a failing flower farm. But her plans go hopelessly awry when an angry, albeit gorgeous, Pepper Smith is waiting for her at the new farm. Pepper states she's the rightful owner and isn't moving out. This is honestly really similar to that cowboy sapphic one I was talking about, like the premise of like one person buying or inheriting a property and the other person, you know, being a bit grumpy and like, no, I'm not leaving. So I'm excited to hopefully read both and compare those and see how that trope is done in two different books. Next up, back to a male romance. This one I think is also on Kindle Unlimited. It is the third in a series. However, I always read romance series out of order and I usually don't have a problem, so I'm hoping this is fine. This one is called Napkins and Other Distractions, and the cover is so cute. I think the artist who did this cover, I'm pretty sure I've been following her for years online. If it's the person I'm thinking of, it looks like the exact style. I'm pretty sure it is. And I love her art. It's so cute. I actually have some of it up on my shelf. But yeah, this cover is so cute, plus it's pink. So like I said, this is a male romance. I think it's also indie published. Yeah, it is. And yeah, the indie published ones are the ones with like the least amount of ratings out of this list that I've got. On paper, the disaster in the sheets are a perfect match. So he is the principal of an elementary school. 7 years after his divorce, he's ready to focus on his personal life and spread his bisexual wings. Things get off to a rocky start when his first date is an uptight control freak. And then the other character, oh, here we go. He's not sure anyone can handle his OCD. So, okay, so then they're having like a working together kind of situation here, because the school's test scores are down. He has to implement new software, and the other guy is the one who's heading the project. So I guess another one that's more like rivals to lovers. Okay, so I'm on to my 10th one that I'm about to tell you about. I don't know if I can read all 10, but I do have some extra options as well. Oh, my camera battery is about to die. We're back to sapphic again. This one is Lavash at First Sight. I don't know how to pronounce that word exactly. This is the author of Sorry Bro, which I didn't read, but I was interested in. So we have one character. She has a tech marketing job. She's having to work with her ex-boyfriend. Her overbearing parents ask her to attend PacCon, a food packaging conference, to promote their company. At the conference, she meets obviously the other woman, and they have a lot of in common. Both Armenian, both from the Bay Area, both families are into food. Their meet cute is cut short when Ellie's parents recognize her as the daughter of the owners of their greatest rivals. So their families are rivals. So I guess kind of like Romeo and Juliet type of situation where the families are rivals, but they are interested in each other. Oh, there it is. Good spotting. I don't know where the other ones are. And my Libby hold for this one just came in this morning, so I'm hoping to get to this one. Next I have another one, and it is another sapphic one. I'm sorry, I have a lot of sapphic books on the list, but this one is on Kindle Unlimited, so I was trying to have some options where I didn't have to go out and actually find the books. So this one is The View from the Top by Rachel Lacey, who this author I believe is pretty popular for sapphic romances. This is also indie published. So a driven businesswoman from Boston collides with a free-spirited artist on a Vermont mountainside. They share a memorable night, but life soon pits them against each other over the fate of a family business. Wow, a lot of similar things happening in the book. Right, she's 35. I love that. First of all, I love books at the moment with older characters. I am in my 30s now, so I don't really want to read about characters in their 20s, particularly early 20s. That is just not the headspace I'm in my life, so it's hard to relate, I guess. So she's 35, still working at the inn her grandparents own, dreaming of a day when she's able to support herself fully with her art. And the other character says she's already made it to the top. She's securing the promotion that will put her in line to take over as CEO at her family's hotel chain. Everything is going to plan until an unexpected run-in with an alluring artist on a mountainside throws Diana off course. Okay, they learn the hotel Diana's in town to buy is none other than Emily's grandmother's inn. So I guess also rivals to lovers, question mark. But the other one that I did want to have as an option, I just don't know if I will find a copy. Again, I don't want to be buying too many books. We're leading up to Christmas and I'm a mum on a budget. But this one is a trans character, which I don't have, as far as I'm aware, in any of the other books. I don't think there's a trans character, which I would like to have a range of representation from, like, the LGBTQ plus community. I can't read 10 sapphic books. I mean, I can, but I would like to not be doing that. So this one is The Prospects by Katie Hoffman, and we are following baseball players. So yeah, one of the characters, as the first openly trans player in professional baseball, Gene has nearly everything he's ever let himself dream of. That is, one of his teammates and rival gets traded to the Beavers. Okay, Gene and Louis can't manage a civil conversation off the field or a competent play on it. But in the close confines of dugout benches and roadie buses, I don't know when my camera cut off then. I was trying to read you the synopsis of this one, but basically I would like to have this one as an option. I think I'm giving you like 13 or 14 options here, but I am going to have to pick based on what I can access. So at least, you know, I've talked about it here. If you're interested in trans romance that came out in 2024, this is one. I don't know if there's that many more. So I don't know. I'm going to read 10 maybe-ish books from this list of the books that I've got here. You know, obviously a lot of these books do not have the readership that the straight romances that made the Goodreads list have. Obviously, we have some more popular authors like Ashley Herring-Blake, but this only still has 2,000 ratings. The indie ones, this has 300 ratings, only 72 reviews. I think these are the most popular. Alison Cochrane, again a popular author, 9,000, and I think the other one was Late Bloomer, yeah, 9,000. The only other book that I have read already this year, so I can't read it for this video, that is a queer romance that came out in 2024 is More Than a Best Friend, or the US title I think is Don't Want You Like a Best Friend. I read that again from my friend's book club. It is a historical romance. I think that one might be one of the most popular queer romances that came out this year. Still didn't make the Goodreads list, of course, but I really enjoyed that one. So if you would like a historical queer romance, that author is got a series. I think there was a male romance that came out after it that I haven't read yet. I don't know, just to give you some options of queer books if you haven't heard of all these. I just feel like they're not talked about enough. And that was me trying to build a TBR. I will say that I have already scrapped at least 50% of the TBR that I was trying to build, I think. Simply because, well, it started off being I was trying to expand the representation that I was finding in books. I did, when I was originally building the TBR, it was just so much easier to find sapphic books because I am more tapped into the sapphic book releases, so I had heaps already on hand. But yeah, when you search up like LGBTQ plus books 2024, a lot of them are, yeah, there was a lot of like male romances, there was a lot of bisexual romances, and I actually had to do quite a fair bit of digging to find trans and like asexual representation in books. So I did swap out a fair chunk of those books that I just listed to you in the TBR 4 other books. But you'll have to wait until about a week's time when I can finally finish my vlog to give you the final results. But I'm having a lot of fun because I do love queer romance books, and I don't know, it was just my silly, goofy little take on the Goodreads Choice Awards reading vlog trend that is very big in this time of year. And I don't know, I wanted to do it too, but I didn't want to read the romance category, so that was me finding a way to switch it up. I'm sorry this isn't the entire vlog. I hope you will stick around for the actual vlog, and I hope this TBR kind of like, I don't know, entices you. But please let me know as well any queer books that were released this year that you would recommend. It may be something that I'm reading the vlog, or it may be something I can add to my TBR. And yeah, I appreciate you being here today. I'm going to do my best to continue to upload as consistently as possible, but I'm also trying to be kind to myself because I am grieving and I am tired because I did have to drive 7 hours to go and attend the funeral and then 7 hours home. I hope you're having a better December than me, and I'll see you in my next video.